Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Slow Start podcast. I'm your host, Brad, and with me, I'm joined by Mark, aka Saint Sino.
Hello.
How are we doing today, Mark?
Not too bad. Up a little bit earlier than usual.
So what you're saying is you were up at a normal time?
Yeah, relatively normal, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I do usually wake up at like a good time, but then I actually take a while to actually get out of bed and then start my day. But as we're doing the podcast, I was thinking, you know what, I should get up a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I feel like before we move any further, I should probably address what you're seeing on screen. This is the soft reset hunt I'm in the middle in. I'm currently hunting.
Still early, innit?
For shiny Raikou. Yep. I mean, I've been up for what, 5 hours, so I've got no excuses. Here we are, though. So yeah, we're just gonna have a bit of this footage in the background, and I think Mark's got his own shiny hunt going as well in the background.
Indeed, I do.
To you.
I was gonna say, yeah, you can't see it, but I'm currently hunting for my second member of my Dream Team quest on Pearl.
Okay.
Which will be either Shinx or Starly, depending on what shines first. Unfortunately, I mean, I hope it's not a Bidoof. I'm making sure to hunt it within the hours that Kricketot doesn't spawn, so I have that extra 10% chance of not finding one.
I mean, that's probably a smart idea. And then,
yeah.
For those who don't know, do you want to tell us what a shiny Dream Team quest is?
Well, it's a bit like a badge quest. However, you don't have to get a shiny for each badge.
You pre-plan your team basically, so you have your 6 that you want and say, right, I want these as my team, and then you specifically hunt those 6 targets, all in shiny, of course.
So do you have?
And that'll be your dream team.
Yeah. Do you have your target set out yet, or is it just the early stages? Okay. Do you want to give us a quick rundown?
Well, as it is a Sinnoh team, it's pretty standard for Sinnoh. So I've got Chimchar, which will be Infernape, which I already have. Got it in about 1,500 encounters.
Yeah, I wish I was that lucky. As you can see on screen, not going too well.
Second member will be hopefully Starly or Shinx, doesn't really matter, but Starly is one of them, which will then be Staraptor. Then also Shinx, which will go to Luxray. So that's 3. Then I'm going to have a Floatzel for number 4. Number 5 will be a Gliscor, because, I mean, I have to, why not? And then the last member will be either a Gallade or Gardevoir, depending on what gender I get as a Rolls.
Right, okay. I mean...
Which I'll plan to hunt in the underground, which I have heard is not very fun.
Yeah, I don't think you've tried... I mean, I haven't personally tried it either.
I haven't unlocked it yet. I'm stuck on Route 201.
Or it might be 202, actually. The one above Sand Gem Town.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I mean, my life has been consumed with this hunt over the last month. My entire free time has been spent doing this and making videos. So it got to the point where I think it was Thursday night into Friday morning, I had a dream that I'd actually failed the encounter, and I was just going through the whole day thinking, damn, was that real? Did I actually just miss it after that? Yeah, I was just super paranoid the entire day.
But by fail, do you mean that you saw it and then reset?
Yes, I mean I reset over it. So I am just mortified, and I just can't bear the thought of doing that.
Yes. Are you at 8k yet?
No, not quite. I am currently at 7,888, which has taken me a grand total of 144 hours to get to.
I must have been pretty close to my Mewtwo.
Yeah, probably so. Because how many was that in total it took you?
17,576.
Woof.
Did you say woof?
Yes, I said woof.
Even
it doesn't really. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say I'm hunting for a cat as well, so it doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah, true.
My one's got jowls.
Yeah, it's either, but my encounters were about 30 seconds each, so I know I have done them out at some point, but I can't be bothered to do it right now. But a similar amount of hours, probably.
Yeah, not too.
But your encounters are like twice as long, right? They're about a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I've I've even, like, I kid you not, throughout the week, like, one of my flatmates actually saw me doing it for the first time. Like, because I go, I'm a psycho. I get up at 4:30 to go to the gym, then I come back here, shower, breakfast, change, cycle to work, changed again, and then I work. But
And then shiny on your break.
yeah, literally. I've been doing that. Still no one's questioned me on it now, and it's got to the point where I've been doing it for 2 weeks now, and I feel like
It's just normal.
it's weird. Well, no, because nobody's even called me out on it, so I just do it. But like, I feel like the weirder it goes, like, I don't know. I've almost wanted someone to ask me just so I can explain what shiny hunting
You can
is.
nerd out a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when I was hunting at work, people ask all the time because they'd see me with my DS and they'd see like my phone on the table with a number. Quite often, people would think, "Oh, are you like cheating with something? Are you trying to do some weird like hacking thing?"
Oh, right.
And I'm like, no. I'm. I was like, this gonna sound really sad.
Yeah, I know, because I was actually really looking forward to that. So, like, imagine just like, you know, like when you're a kid and you go around the grass plucking for 4-leaf clovers. Like, you're never gonna find one, but yeah,
You hope that you might.
we will find the shinies.
Eventually,
It's inevitable.
like Thanos.
But
Yeah, people. I had to explain it, and I remember one time. I think I was one of them. I was hatching eggs
in Oras at the daycare, like, you know, the one where you can go in like the loop, and all they would see is me just running on my bike, I'm cycling on my bike, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm hatching eggs." I don't know why, because I want the Pokemon to be a different color.
yeah, no, I have an absurd amount of stick drift on these things. Do you know why?
Because you had them for a while.
Well, yeah, because Nintendo don't know how to make a Joy-Con. But besides that, I literally spent my entire exam season of uni first year just Masuda hunting for Greninja, Charizard,
Oh, so
and
you-
the Paldea starters. So I just
You like fiddling your
I
sticks.
just had a rubber band around my sticks for like 6 hours a day for like 2 weeks straight.
Oh my god!
As I was just.
I thought you meant that you were
hatching eggs.
like spinning them in a circle. I was like, I
Oh
can
no
do
no
that.
no!
This-
They were firmly tied together.
Oh wow!
I just went to you know, as you go into the crater in Area Zero, like before you go into the lab to go down, you know, there's that little sort of
The open area.
yeah. There, I just my bike was just spinning, but unfortunately, Scarlet and Violet isn't the most bug-free game, and there's a bit where you can
I'm familiar.
where like you kind of clip the Pokemon clips through the wall on the other side of the cave, and you would somehow just end up in these random encounters every now and then. So I'd like waste like 2 minutes of hatching eggs without realizing.
I was actually on Violet last night.
Because I thought past 8 o'clock, you know, I can't really hunt because of the Cricketops. So I went on Violet to try and do some like raids and try and level up my Pokemon and that. And I thought, while I'm at it, I'll see what I can do with completing the decks and just catching a bunch of stuff.
I went to the top of Glaciedo Mountain.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Glaciedo.
Close enough.
And there was a Grievard, I think it was, and I was trying to catch it, but then it did the weird thing where it like clipped through the floor, and then it says, "Oh,
Right.
you can't catch it because like it's not in sight." And I was like, "That's not my problem, is it? Like that's the game." You know, it just disappeared.
Yeah, that's
And I was
weird.
like, yeah. I mean, at first I was thinking, has it used like dig or something, and you know you can't catch it while it's obviously not there. But I mean, it could have done. I wasn't really paying attention, but I did see that it like clipped through the floor. And then when I just ran for the battle, it appeared again. I was like, oh, nice.
And, I think I completed the decks on Violet within about 5 days of it being out.
Oh Jesus.
Because, yeah, I just made it my mission because as I played through the game, I didn't do any of the trainer battles. And I literally just was like, alright, I'm going to go through this area. I'm going to catch everything I see as I progress. So I
Mine
leveled
was
up
the
that
opposite.
way. And then I just went back and filled in everything I needed afterwards.
Yeah. See, mine was I battled every trainer that I could see, and then I only really caught things that I wanted, like for my team. Now I'm going back and catching everything.
Yeah.
But there are the odd few trainers that I'll find and be like, oh, I haven't battled you yet, and they'll have
Yeah,
like a level
fair enough.
17, and then my Skeletor just
yeah.
one taps it, and I'm like, alright, cool.
That kind of. At least it's quick.
Yeah, I mean, I got Skeletor's to level 100 yesterday by doing some raids. I can just about do
torch
5
them.
stars now. Yeah, I can just about do 5s. It's like very close, but I can just about do them. So yeah, that's good. And then
With all the the first stage Pokemon that I'd caught, I went into Area 0 and just started battling everything to level it up.
Yeah, that's how I did it when I was completing
Yeah.
my decks. I just went
So
and
I had
just
a bunch
fought
of,
loads
like-
of Dracloaks.
I had like a Mastiff, Tadbulb, I've got a Dreepy, a Gibble, just first stage stuff, and I was just leveling them all up. But when does Dreepy evolve? Because that's where it's like
Very
40
late,
something.
just like all pseudos do.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 40 something and then evolved yet, and it's 3 stage, isn't it? That one. It's not like it goes straight to Dragapult. There's
Yeah, no, it's
something
a free stage. There's Dracloak.
yeah, and I was thinking, damn, this is taking a while.
I used to really like Dragapult. I still do quite like it, but it's kind of a menace in the TCG, so I've started to not like it as much.
I've never used it. But it
I
seems really cool.
already
but I
had a dislike for Charizard, and then oh my god, the dark type Charizard in TCG, just go away, man. Because they released a League Battle deck for it as well, so it's just like accessible on store shelves. Everyone plays it, especially at locals where it's like people who are newer, like me, who just want to go and pick up a deck and play. Everyone goes and buys the Charizard deck, so everyone plays the Charizard deck. So all you see is Charizard decks, and that is especially upsetting when your favourite deck to play is a Gardevoir deck that gets hit for weakness by it, which, just like in the regular games, double damage. So it's just an Oko every time I come look at it. Okay, right, I'll stop rambling.
Yeah, you seem very passionate about that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually looking through the decks yesterday, and I was thinking, because you said back along it's like the easiest shiny charm you'll ever get, because
yeah.
there's only like
It's like
400, right?
400.
I was like, okay, yeah, only 400 out of like 1,000, right? You know, it's like, to be fair, that's like, a bit under half of the Pokemon that exist. And I was like, it's quite a lot still. And I was actually looking through the decks, and I just pressed right and just held it down. I thought,
It does
okay,
take
there
a
is
lot
actually,
still. Yeah.
there is actually quite a lot of Pokemon. I was like, maybe it's not going to be as easy as I thought.
That's why you do it as you go along. You sort
I
of
just didn't really
fill it in a
bother.
bit.
But I was just catching a lot of stuff, and then leveling them all up. Been catching everything I get from raids if I don't already have it, because they're guaranteed catches.
Yeah.
But
I-
yeah, I need to start making like actual raid Pokemon so I can do them a little bit easier. Because with my Skeledirge I can do 5s, but they are quite
Yeah,
close.
I think my biggest regret though with that is that a lot of my shinies I turned into raid Pokemon, because it's like, oh yeah, it's cool, I can rock up to raids with like shinies and compared to a load of other scrubs. But that does mean that like because I maxed them all out to like level 100 to do these raids easier, it means I can't really use them on any playthroughs or anything, which I'm kind of upset about now, so I want to go get more shinies.
Fair. I mean, I just want some that I can actually do raids with, so I can earn all the materials and the Herbamysticus and things like that.
You
actually grind
you
this
haven't
stuff.
even managed to use the Herba yet.
No, I did get one Herbamysticus today.
Got a
Ooh.
Sweet, I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if it really matters which one it is.
No, like there are some recipes that matter if you use like the wrong combo of them, but in general, a herb is a herb. You just need 2 of them to get a
You
shiny.
need-
Like,
Okay,
it's
that's cool.
basically how it works. You need to I would recommend looking at some Google guides quickly, but yeah, there are ways around it that you don't need specific ones.
Okay. But yeah, I need Pokemon that are actually capable of beating the raids like easily, to like you
Yeah.
can EV them and stuff. I know there is a much easier way to do it in these games, but
I don't know how you do it.
I'll tell you.
go
Moolah.
for it. More like money.
Yeah, because you just go to Delibird. Is it the Delibird? No, it's not Delibird. It's
Oh, so is it like
you can go and just buy
combos
infinite
and
amounts
things
of
like
the supplements in this game. Like, there's no cap on it. You can get them really easily. It's just money.
that?
So again, like I literally got a turbo controller. Just went in, got a level 100 Sylveon, turbo mode overnight into the Ace Trainer tournament, and it was just a pixelate Sylveon with, was it Boomburst? I can't remember now. So yeah, just absolutely
Can't remember.
annihilated everything and just
Yeah,
got me loads
I've
of
had a-
money. So
I've had an amulet coin on one of my Pokemon for a good amount of my playthrough, so I have got a good amount of cash.
yeah,
So I put it
so-
on my Kilowattrel. because I always like to have my Killer Watcher out front because it has Volt Switch, which is just an amazing move.
Yeah.
So then
Good
like
pivot.
yeah, it's either like it's good because I can use a flying or electric move. If it's not, I can just Volt Switch into something else because I'm going to be switching anyway. But I also get free damage, so
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like
You get a bit cheapy, so why not?
it's great. Yeah, I did the same thing when I was playing through Black and White with the Zeb Striker.
which had Volt Switch.
I love Zip Striker, man. I want it back. I haven't seen it in so long.
Has it not been in any game since?
I don't know, actually. I don't think it definitely wasn't in Scarlet and Violet, but I don't know whether it was in Sword
To
and
be
Shield.
fair,
or
I
not.
don't know if I've ever seen it since Black and White. I feel like it might have been in Sword and Shield.
I don't know, but
I mean, you
It-
played it recently, didn't you?
yeah, I did. But I don't.
More
remem-
recently
I
than me,
don't
actually.
remember seeing one when I did my playthrough. Bro, I can't. I really want to do another playthrough of a game, but I am shackled. I am committed to getting this bloody Thundercat before I do anything else. But
Oh, you're approaching double odds now, right? So
yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So
I reckon you'll get.
I will hit double odds today.
because I think triple odds is fairly unheard of. It's like
Yeah.
it's possible.
Okay,
but-
right, come on, Mark.
More likely than
Yeah,
not.
I mean,
you-
we've
you
already
get it before.
surpassed the last two predictions you gave me, but I want an on-the-pod prediction. How many encounters?
Okay, I reckon it's going to be. I reckon 8.4. I reckon it'll be the same as my Suicune. My
Okay.
Suicune was 8407, I think.
I can't remember.
So
Did you
it'll
do
be
that?
about
You
8.4.
did that in 4K odds, didn't you? Because it was an Aurus.
Yeah, it was Auras, yeah. I've only ever done a couple of retro odd hunts. And that was Spiritomb
Okay,
and U2.
Speaking of hunts in Aurus, I just thought we'd bring it up on here that because you hadn't really played the newer games or anything. Well, that's kind of irrelevant because you played X and Y before us, but you had no idea that the way that the legendaries came in was through Hooper rings, and it was Hooper that was bringing them there. So, all right, I would like to know what your headcanon was for that. What did you think those rings were?
I don't really think much of it.
Keep it family friendly.
But I mean,
Okay, did you say I played X and Y before Auras?
I assume so.
I did not.
You're a freak.
Well, when I first got a 3DS, I was talking to my brother and I was thinking, do I get X and Y or do I get Auras? Because I was like, okay, this is my first time in a Gen 6 game, right? And this was in like, what, 2019? So I was a little bit late to the party because I think by then Sword and Shield was out, right? So we were at Gen 8 and I was only just starting Gen 6, right? And I was deciding which one to get, and he was like, get Auras because it's just 10 times a better game.
Aurus is an incredible
And
game.
it's like
Agreed.
filled to the brim with legendaries. Like in X and Y, all you get is the box legendary, Zygarde and Mewtwo,
Yeah.
right? Is that it? And they're all
There
shiny
must
box as
be
well.
something else. I think you might be able to get the birds, maybe? I
I'm
don't
not sure.
know.
I didn't really look into it that
Yeah,
much.
no, I can't
Honestly,
remember.
with X and Y, I finished it and then I just haven't been on it since. I played it for the story and then
Is
I'm not.
is the
I don't think I
Mewtwo-
put the cartridge in once.
Is the Mewtwo in X and Y shiny locked or not?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have hunted it there.
Yeah.
That's why I went and hunted it in Heart Gold, and it went quite a while. Yeah, I've only
Yeah,
done 2
just-
retro
just-
hunts.
I,
Our Spiritomb is very
the thing
lucky
is,
though.
like, I think I've said this to you off the pod a few times, but I can't bring myself to go and hunt in the 3DS or DS eras just because I did have Pokemon Bank, but I don't know why I just can't get access to it now because I have this thing where I go to access it and it will say, "Oh, this isn't the original save that access Pokemon Bank for this game," and I'm like, "Well, no, it's not. I reset my save, but it's still my account, but they just won't let me into my Pokemon Bank." I even literally bought a copy of Ultra Sun thinking that it would let me in because I'd never accessed it with that game before, and it still said the same message. What do you mean? I've never had this game before. And okay, yeah. But
this is not the same save. Well, this isn't any
Okay.
save.
yeah, exactly. Long story short, I have no way to move it up to home and have them in the current games. So
See,
I would
I
much
don't
rather
have a
spend
problem
my
with that, really.
time hunting where they will be accessible and I'll have them forever and I can actually like form a bond with them and be like my shiny Arceus, like I now forevermore have a shiny god. And if they have I mean, it's a mythical and it's banned in like competitive and things like that. But say that like when they release champions and we have like unrestricted formats on there, I can then pull in my shiny Arceus, and it's like that's my gold llama. I would much rather be able to do that.
I get that, but like, I don't really have a problem with that because I'm fine with the Pokemon staying in their games because it's like it's like it's home. It's where I found it, and plus like I don't feel the need to bring it up to other games because I know it's still mine. Like if I ever want to go and see it, I just put the cartridge in and it's there.
Yeah, but I don't want to dig out cartridges to see a different color Pokemon. If I'm spending 150 hours on these little, I want to be able to see them. I want to be able to use them. I don't want them rotting.
Nah, I mean like it's not about the destination; it's the journey.
Okay.
Your silence is so loud.
Yes. I think we might have to park that one there, but I mean, I did mention champions a minute ago. I think it's about time that we address the elephant in the room. That yes, since the first podcast, we have watched our little announcements for Pokemon Day. I got hard baited by the Pokemon Masters announcement. I got way too excited seeing the shiny Primals and Rayquaza, but all in all, I am saying it was a banger of a presents. How about you?
This first one I've actually sort of watched, so I haven't got much to compare it to, but it was good. Yeah, some interesting stuff. I was hoping we'd get a bit more on ZA.
But all we got was just the start.
But I think it's because it's going to be a lot longer. And I mean, we saw even the early ones we don't really care about. Like we saw Darkrai. I may or may not have reinstalled Pokemon Sleep in preparation, but yeah, I think it was really good. And ZA, I can't lie, I think a lot of the renders of the sprites and the models weren't quite as crisp as I was hoping. But I mean, they still got 9 months to work on that. It's just that I feel like we've been kind of spoiled because I genuinely think the models in Scarlet and Violet look incredible.
Yeah, they do look quite good. I mean, most people's problem with the game is just the performance.
Oh yeah.
It's like, I mean, even I said in my video, the game itself, I loved. I thought it was brilliant. Like, it was buggy as all hell, but if you can put that aside, then it was a great experience.
I think it was fun. I definitely think I'm going to go and do another playthrough of probably Scarlet actually, because I started on Violet, and the way I did it, I bought both at launch because I was obsessed with the games when they came out.
You still are?
Yeah, I still am. And
well, I mean, so far you've put hundreds of hours into BDSP, but
yeah,
for the Thundercat.
Exactly, and the other dogs that preceded them. But
this is your last one, isn't it?
Yes, and then I'm going for Ho-Oh. I actually started recording a video earlier where I discussed my shiny hunts, and I haven't.
Oh, is that going to be the next one?
Oh yeah, 100%. But
nice.
Well, not necessarily the next video I get up because we don't know how long this is going to take me, and I might just be sort of cataloguing it for a future video where I sort of go over. I think I might save the footage for that, but. Yeah, because I think what I'm building towards in the summer with these shiny hunts, but I think I'll keep that a little bit of a secret.
I was going to say, you're going to talk about that, or you're just going to leave it?
I think we'll leave that. I think that's going to be cool once it actually gets done, because I don't want to gas it up.
Once you get the reveal.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, okay.
I think that will be a fun video. So yeah, we'll leave that there, but. Yeah, back to the presents.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, ZA is still going to be coming out as a Switch title. But
was that confirmed, or was that like speculated? So I don't need to buy a Switch 2?
No, you won't.
Not yet, at least.
It will be for Switch 1, and then. But what I'm really hoping is that they make it run better on Switch 2. Or at least that just the hardware itself just allows it to run better. Like, I don't mean they're going to do a second release where they optimize the game. just the fact that I hope that we have better hardware to play it on, and that could also go for Scarlet and Violet as well. I'm hoping just the fact that it will be a more powerful console, it can just handle itself a bit better. But the game is just very poorly optimized, so we'll see.
A lot of the problem is the game rather than the hardware.
Yeah.
Because if you look at something like, I mean, I know Sword came out
earlier, but that runs completely fine. I think I only ever had like one time where I dropped a few frames. I was like, oh, that was a bit weird. But then when you play through Scarlet and Violet, you're dropping frames all the time. Like, it's weird when you don't.
It's because they
you get good frames. You're like, oh my god.
It's because they try and boot the whole map at the same time, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, you see things like pop in and stuff is like you see like the windmills and stuff in the background are like 2 frames a second. And I mean, until you get close to it, and then when you're close, it looks fine. But it's because it's trying to render it in so far away.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can hope, because I'm gonna be doing a playthrough and probably do a video on like my thoughts like 3 years later, because like I don't know where I've talked about it anywhere yet about how much the games mean to me, because it was not long after I moved to university and I had a bit of a rough time with it. So it was very much a sort of escapism and comfort, sort of like a little nostalgia blanket that I just covered myself with, and yeah, I just went deep on them and I absolutely loved the games, even though, yeah, like you say, like, I don't think the performance was that bad for me in general, other than Tag Tree Thicket and
Like Tree Thicket.
Cascaroya Lake?
Cassaroya, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just one C.
Cassaroya. Yeah, those two, yeah. The less said,
I mean,
the
a lot of
better,
places are quite bad.
but the rest of the game, I didn't find it too bad.
I mean, I noticed it pretty much all the time, but it kind of just became used to it. Like, I'd be riding on Maridon and like I could see that my frames were just in the negatives, and I was like, yeah, well, this is just normal. I just stopped complaining after the first like day, because I knew that the whole game was going to be like it.
Fair enough. But yeah, ZA should hopefully be a lot better. I feel like they've learnt their lessons, hence why we've taken 2 years to get the game, because they were like, oh, let's slow down a bit, let's not have a repeat here.
Yeah, it's always better to take longer but make sure it's actually finished. Because it's so annoying as like a consumer when a company will like rush a game just to get it out by a deadline, and then when you do play it, there's only like half the game exists.
Yeah,
partly because it's unoptimized, and then partly because they think, let's just make the other part DLC.
I very much feel that as a person who has bought every game of FIFA for the last like 8 years, even though he says every year that he's not going to buy it, and then I can't even do it anyways. So
I say that most of the time with COD.
But to be fair, I only ever get the tryout CODs, so it's once every like 3 years I'll get one.
Yeah,
because I started with Black Ops 6, and then like, I mean, I absolutely grinded the hell out of it when I first got it, but I haven't played it in ages now. I kind of just got off it. I think it's because I did the camera grind, and then I was like, done.
Yeah.
I didn't really have much else reason to play it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't get any CODs until Black Ops 3. I got Black Ops 3. Infinite Warfare, the multiplayer wasn't that great, but I actually think the zombies on Infinite Warfare was so underrated. Zombies in Spaceland banged. I'm just upset because
I haven't played it.
That's the only thing about not having a disc thing, because I had that on disc for PS4, and because like, I might have actually booted up and played
I've got a disc.
Yes, but I wouldn't pay £100 to be able to go back and play Infinite Warfare once every year if I fancied it.
It's not just Infinite Warfare though. It's anything you may have on a disc.
Yeah,
plus any DVDs or Blu-rays you may have.
Because most games like Overwatch, things like that, I do just have now on digital. So
most of my games are digital, but I absolutely love having the option to have discs. Because I can then go out and
but I didn't.
I can get things secondhand cheaper. I can still watch DVDs and Blu-rays. Like,
I just didn't love it for £100 though.
Nah, I was fine with it. I'd hate being limited to not having it. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And it's not as if I got no use out of it. I do still use the disc drive quite regularly.
Yeah, fair enough. I just couldn't justify it at the time, because
I think if you're on like a tight budget or something, I could see it.
Again, that was like just before I moved to uni, so I was at the time not going to be working for a while. I mean, I probably could have picked up a job, but in the mental state I was in, probably the smartest thing was to just...
You can actually get like external disk drives now, can't you? I think
Can you? I've not looked
as,
into
like,
it.
as like an attachment.
Again, I just don't think
You know, they'll be
I'd
selling
really
that for extra
want
moolah.
to, so...
But I mean, the option's there, I guess, if you want it,
Yeah.
which is always good. It's,
But-
you know, having extra options for stuff is never a bad
This
thing.
time I'm prepared. I have a little savings pot that's set aside specifically for the Switch and ZA, so the second it drops, I'm like, bang, I'm there.
I might have to start sort of saving a bit.
Yeah, put a
it
little
depends-
bit aside at a time.
We don't know. Do we know roughly how much it's going to be? Or have they not said like anything about that yet?
Officially, no. There have
there's
been
speculation
there
and
have been
stuff.
speculation from like various retailer listings or whatever that might be hinting towards it, but I think it's going to be in the region of about 400 at launch.
Damn.
350 to 400,
Because the
I think.
yeah, the regular Switch was about 300, wasn't it? Give or
God
take.
knows. I got it a few years later.
I
don't
got mine
know.
a few months ago.
Because like when it came out though, I was still what? I would have been like 12. So I wasn't really following stuff as closely as I am now. But wait, what was it? It might not have been 400. I can't remember now. But
Wait, did you say you were 12 when it came out?
I think so.
Oh my god.
I don't think I was
Okay.
even 12 because what did it come out? Did it come in 2015
17, I want
or
to say.
17? If it was 17, I would have been.
No.
That doesn't sound right. I want to say 15.
When did?
But- In my video, I remember using a screenshot, and I think it said 2017, but that doesn't
don't
sound
know.
right to me, to be honest.
I mean, either way, even if it was 17, I would have. Yeah, 3rd of March 2017, but I would have been 12.
Was that actually when it came out? I swear it came out earlier. So I specifically remember going into game with one of my friends, and he was debating buying one, and we literally stood there like I'm very indecisive, right? But this guy seems he must have caught it from me or something, because we legitimately stood there contemplating whether or not he wanted to buy the Switch for like 2 hours.
Really?
It's genuinely. Well, I don't know if it was 2 hours, but at least an hour.
I would have dragged him out the store after like 20 minutes.
I see. I'm indecisive as well, so it doesn't bother me. I'm usually the one that sits there and is like,
I
oh, I
ain't,
don't know.
I ain't letting someone waste 2 hours of my time. No way.
Then when he eventually sort of had the courage to say like, is there any way you can do like a try before you buy kind of thing, and he went no, and you just went, all right then. And I just left. Because I think one of the guys behind the counter even said, do you guys need anything? Because you know you've been waiting there for a while, and we were like, yeah, we're fine. Just deciding.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a bit crazy, yeah.
But
I mean, to be fair, it's not like I was doing anything else in my life, let's be honest.
way to make it sad.
It's my specialty. That's my
Yeah.
secret cat. I'm always sad.
God. I don't know how to whether I should dignify that with a response.
Well, it depends what you were going to respond with.
Nope. Right. Moving on. We also saw the starters though. I know you're saying you wanted more, but we did get the starters at least.
At least we got something, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Because I was not expecting those starters.
I think it's a good set of starters. I don't think it's the best, but it's good.
I have always said that I think Gen 2 is the worst set of starters, and we got 2 of them. That being said,
Yeah, it's
though, I
weird they
think
took
it's
2 from
more
the same gen.
overall. Totodile, though, I love, so I'm
course,
perfectly
yeah.
happy with that. I can write off Chikorita, because normally I write off the grass starter anyways. And then my
I think I
boy
usually
Tepig.
would, but-
I love me some Tepig.
Yeah, I love Tepig, but I don't quite like Emboar. Not anymore, anyway. I used to, because I was a bit like you, where you were like, oh yeah, I just level the fire starters, right? So like after having Infernape, I instantly went Tepig. So I was like, why wouldn't you, right? But then as I got older, I just slowly learned that I think Superior is cooler. So
I just
I
can't get on board
sort of
with that, I'm
it.
sorry. But
I know it's weird. 'Cause, like, when I was younger, I was Emboar all the way, and then it
once
just
you
kind of
see
changed.
Chef Mega Emboar, he's gonna cook, bro. He's gonna prove you wrong.
Chef Mega Emboar.
Yeah. Yeah,
Why
it's
chef?
France, isn't it? French cuisine. He's a boar. They export a lot of pork. I've seen loads of videos like cooking up these ideas, and I back it.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's yeah, Tepe would be cool. Totodile, very cool. Who doesn't like Feraligatr? But Chikorita is, yeah, I mean it's not
No,
most
'cause the thing
people's
is,
favorites. But let's be
Chikorita,
honest.
Bayleaf, fine. Meganium,
Not
who
so
are
much.
you? Why are you here?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the. Where did we put it in our tier list? Do you remember? Must have been quite low.
Stinker.
Yeah, probably. Left good old Chikorita at the lab.
Yeah, almost definitely. To be fair though, low-key, I think I prefer Chikorita to Cyndaquil. In terms of the first stage.
That's kind of mental.
I know, I think that is a wild
See,
take.
the thing is, right? I love the Cyndaquil line, but as much as I do love it, I do think it's a little overrated. That's not to say.
100%.
Yeah, that's not to say I don't like it. I do like it. It is very cool, but I think it's not the best. Especially for Gen 2, that it goes to Feraligatr. And no one can change my mind on that.
Yeah.
Then it would be Typhlosion.
Okay.
And then
I don't know, man. Typhlosion is just like, I don't know. Like the only thing it has going for it is it has fire coming out of it.
As does pretty much every fire type.
Yeah,
So-
but other than that, it's just a long rat.
ferret looking thing.
Yeah.
What even is
It's
it?
weird. I don't know. I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Yeah, because I think it's like a ferret of sorts, but that's it's not exactly ferry.
No.
Yeah, that's strange. Well, what would you say Eevee is? 'Cause a lot of people would say like a fox, but I don't know if I'd call it a
yeah,
fox.
true.
It's definitely a dog of sorts, right?
Yeah, I'd say.
But then
it's
it's like a weird.
I definitely think it
rabbit red.
leans
It
canine,
is
but it does have some feline aspects as well. So it's a
just a weird. I mean, to be fair, it's not a real
it's a
animal,
filet
so-
it's a felinine.
fillet knife.
Yeah,
It's like fillet of fish. Fillet knife.
fillet of fish, fillet of dog. Okay,
no.
not gonna make the joke.
We're not going to talk about eat. I mean, I know we were just talking about chefs, but I don't think we should be eating Pokemon just yet.
I don't know, some Slowpoke tail, some
But
fried Magikarp. I'd go for that.
To be fair, the fish are kind of normal because the fish Pokemon are literally just fish.
Yeah, no, they do actually eat Pokemon in like the Pokemon world. Like you say, like it was brutal, man. In Gold and Silver, going around like the well and talking about them cutting off Slowpoke's tails. That's just mean.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't it be cool if you could actually find like tailless Slowpokes in the wild, like in the games? And it would be like, I mean, not like a shiny because it'd be a bit more common.
No,
But it'd be
that,
interesting to be
that
like,
could
I've got a
be
tailless
that could
Slowpoke.
be really cool because it evolves through having a shoulder by its tail. So if it can't, I mean, it would have to just go into Slowking where it just bites its head instead. And I don't know why biting his head makes it grow intelligence, but it does. So each to their own.
Its energy into the brain.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Slowpoke's just a whole unique thing in itself because it's kind of like the first ever fusion. Like where you see the shoulder bite
Oh,
it,
like two Pokemon.
it goes like pen, apple, pineapple. Pen.
I was wondering what you're doing for a second. I was like,
yeah, no, it does that, but the shoulder changes form as well. Like that ain't
Yeah, I
a
was gonna say,
Pokemon in the Dex.
Yeah, because you said shoulder. I was like, is it? I was like,
Yeah,
I can
it
sort of
is.
see it. I was like, it doesn't.
It
look
is
exactly
genuinely
like
a shoulder, but it just for some reason it just
a weird looking
evolves
shoulder.
with it. Because it doesn't
Yeah.
just turn into a cloister; it just becomes this weird grey,
Does that mean that
Shoulder
Slowpoke is like a Megazord?
like a Megazord. I can get on board with
Only two
that.
Pokemon.
I mean, Kyurem did it
Oh,
better, but
That's like an actual fusion,
okay,
though,
do
isn't
you
it? It's not
actually-
just bite my tail.
because they have actually done fusion then. But do you think we could see fusion as a gimmick ever? Do you think they'll ever actually go there? Because like it's obviously a thing fans have like talked about and wanted for years. Like I remember literally talking to another kid when I was on holiday in Spain when I was like 7, and we were like speculating about fusions, and like we've got, to be fair, like I don't think they will, just because Infinite Fusion has kind of satiated people's appetite for that, and I don't think the Pokemon Company want to go there. A, because of the amount of sprite work, they just don't have the facilities for that, and B, because I don't think they'd want to mess with the original designs too much.
The thing is, if they were to do that, it would only have to be like specific Pokemon, because there's no way you're getting every combination of 1,025 Pokemon. Like I don't want to think about the math you'd have to do to work out what number that is, but
yeah, they did it twice, didn't they? Because they did it with Necrozma and Solgaleo and Lunala as well. I always forget about that.
Yeah, it would be really cool because I'm thinking they did it quite well in Yu-Gi-Oh, but then that was, you know, this card plus this card equals this card, you know, like,
yeah,
and they could just make as many as they wanted, and with the however many thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh cards there are, of course they're not all fusions, are they? It's like there's only certain amounts. So let's say if maybe like out of the 1,000 Pokemon,
so hard,
maybe only like 50 of them can fuse or something. But then it's like, is it much of a battle gimmick if only a very small percentage of the roster can do it?
Megas.
Fair enough. You know what? Yeah, we will get fusions.
Let's go. You know, but I say Aegis/fusions with bang. We don't necessarily need that. I just want armor evolutions, man. It would kind of have to work just like Megas, but they just get loads of armor instead because I just a sucker for it. They just look cool. Just give me a Lucario just clad in loads of gold.
Literally went
give it,
suit up.
Inject it right now.
You a fan of Corviknight?
Yeah.
I figured so. Because that is basically just a bird with like armor, more or less.
Yeah, it doesn't look armory enough for my liking.
No, it just looks steely, being a steel type, but I think it's still cool though.
It's still cool.
So I can't see you, but I know you did like a finger gun or something.
No, I did a drum on my desk.
Oh, close enough. Yeah, I've not been a huge fan of the knighty kind of looking Pokemon. Like, I like them, but I'd prefer like. And it's the whole sort of medieval aspect. Yeah, but that's like.
He doesn't have armor.
It's not got the armor. Yeah, it's just a cool like. So I just think turning the leak into a big sword, I think it's just really cool. I'm like, damn, that's epic.
Stabby leak, man.
Elite.
He is.
Yeah.
He is a. It is.
I really wanted one
elite
on my
design.
I really wanted on my sword playthrough, but I just couldn't find one. I couldn't find a Farfetch anywhere. I think it's because it was like a 1% encounter in
but like,
one of the routes.
Why, with those kind of things, like, why don't you just Google it?
Because I just wanted the authentic experience. I wanted to just see if I could find it myself.
Yeah, but if I really wanted one, I
like to treat it as if it's like day one. You know, like I'm playing it when it's new. Like, of course, I'm a bit late, but I like to treat it like that. So I get at least the closest I can to the experience.
Yeah, it's understandable.
But to be fair, the other day, a couple weeks ago, you know how in Scarlet and Violet you can fight all the trainers in an area, and then the guy at the Pokemon Center gives you something. I was doing that for the Casseroya Lake area.
Oh no, you're brave.
Yeah, exactly. Because there was just some dude like in the middle on an island. And he wasn't even at a Pokemon Center or anything. He was just like, oh, battle like 8 trainers and you get something. I was like, alright, bet. So I needed one. I needed one more, and I couldn't find him. I spent literally an hour and a half just going around this lake, looking at all the islands and stuff, trying to find this trainer, and I could not find it. That I eventually caved in and just looked up, because I was like, I've wasted so much time.
Yeah. I
spent an hour and a half running around this laggy-ass lake trying to find this trainer, and I couldn't. So that I caved in. But I did try for an hour and a half to find it myself. But yeah, it was a bit of a waste.
I'm getting the 7,939.
Oh.
Do
you reckon you get it before AK?
No shot.
I mean, you get the hope.
But I'm gonna go for Ho-Oh afterwards, obviously, but I don't. I definitely want to take a break from shiny hunting
yeah.
after this.
I don't
I
blame
want
you.
to get some playthroughs in, but
I think
I
what's
don't know
funny
what
is
I
I think
wanna
after I did Mewtwo, I was like, okay, I'm taking a break. I'm pretty sure I stopped for maybe like a week. I was like, you know what, I feel like I want something else.
I would also really like to kind of try and get into battling. I think it would be fun, but it's just so much
I've always like
effort, man.
wanted to, but
I just have a hard time understanding a lot of the
Yeah,
strats and things. So like in my most recent video, I talked about the competitive Gallade that I had. But any time I think of like a competitive battler, it's literally just EV and speed and attack, and it's kind of just built as like a sweeper. Like that's like the only build I actually know of.
no, because like I don't mind those kind of sets where I just like, right, I want this to hit hard, I want this to be fast, I want it to be bulky, but I just can't.
When it comes to like team synergy and things.
No, even that I kind of like the idea of. It's just when you get into the min-maxing side of the game, where you have 5 EVs and speed to just about outspeed tier this Pokemon with this spread, and then you have
'cause there'll be,
this
like, a
amount
meta,
of
won't there?
defense to be able to tank this move that's very popular. Things like
Oh, yeah,
that,
no,
it's like that is just too far. For
That's
me,
a bit
I
far
think.
for me, yeah. Especially as we're like both new to it, or newish. So I think like I was discussing with my brother, the sort of gym leader team that I was sort of wanting to make, the ground type one.
Yeah,
and I was thinking,
How would I make that work as like a team? And the only thing you can really do with ground types is make like a sandstorm based
oh
team.
yeah, that's the easiest.
But however, yeah, but none of the Pokemon in my 6 can have sandstorm as an ability. So it's a bit like, well, you're out of luck, to be honest. Usually you need like a Hippowdon or something, which will just create a sandstorm. But I was like, I can have sandstorm as a move, but if you're wasting a turn putting up sandstorm, you're already dead. It's like, for example, I've got a Floatzel, which I really wanted to use, but you only really use Floatzel if you've got like a rain based team, and make sure it has like Swift Swim and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think.
But I ended up just building it as like I said, just basically a sweeper, just lots of speed, lots of attack, and just hit hard. That's like all I know when it comes to building. Like I know there's so much more you can do though with like synergizing and doing this and doing that and setting things up and that. But so for example, my brother made a Dusclops, which was like really tanky and bulky, and it was designed just to mess with you.
That's rude.
Yeah.
But,
So
yeah, it
we
makes sense.
it was tag team though, and so we would team up and do battle subways and stuff. And I just had like Crocodile, Floatzel, Gallade, which are all just built to hit hard. That's kind of it. Especially my Crocodile, because I had Moxie, which is an
Oh
amazing
yeah,
ability.
Moxie's such a fun ability.
It's brilliant. I originally wanted it to be a, I think I wanted it to be a Jolly Intimidate. I think.
Yeah, Crocodile's Intimidate is better though.
That's what I was aiming for, because I was thinking, okay, I can make it fast, I can make it hit hard. It will be a little bit tankier because of the Intimidate, but I couldn't land one. But I did have an Adamant Moxie one, and I thought, you know what, I'll just use that. And I'm happy I did because it's so good.
Yeah,
like
no.
just being able to land, as soon as you land your first hit, you're like, right, we're good.
Like
Because
when
you Oko something, and then you just sweep everyone else because you just keep growing and growing.
yeah,
and
no,
growing.
I did give
Amazing.
online battles a little bit of a go in Scarlet and Violet a few months ago, or I say that, I think it must have been best part of a year ago now. But no, I built out a Moxie Quaquaval because I got the shiny for it, and I love the Pokemon a lot more now because
that's one of
obviously
those ones where you like it because of an experience.
yeah, exactly. I choice because I didn't like it at first at all, but then I used it on a playthrough on Scarlet, I think, and then I went and once I got the shiny, I ended up using it on a team as well, and yeah, just choice band Aqua Step, so it effectively gets. As long as I could get 1 KO, it would then start getting attack boosts. Obviously, the choice band 50% up as well, and then it would get the Aqua
So
Step
it
speed
gets the
boosts
attack
as
boost.
well.
It gets
it's
attack boost from Moxie and then speed
so it was
boost from,
effectively just dragon dancing and hitting hard at the same time.
Oh, that does sound mental.
It was fun, but it was very much like hit or miss though, because if they stopped it from getting any of the stat boosts off, then it was quite literally a sitting duck.
See, I quite like those kind of moves that just like
or abilities rather that just like keep going up. So I remember when I was playing through Alola, I had a Mudsdale, which I really liked because of
yeah.
stamina. Yeah, so like was it every time it takes damage, it just
Yes.
gets higher defense every time. It just becomes more and more bulky, and I put it out as just an absolute tank. And it was a ground type, so I was like right up my alley. I was like, perfect, get on my team right now. But I think Mudbray is better than Mudsdale.
Although I think I might hurt a Mudsdale going up your alley, but okay.
wait, okay,
That took you a while.
I was sitting there, I was like, what do you mean? I was like, oh.
Brad's being inappropriate again. You know, no surprise there.
Oopsie.
Yeah, but it's like the only good thing about Gen 7. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think even though we had performance issues, I think that Gen 9 still massively outclasses Gen 7.
I think everything outclasses Gen 7. Let's be honest.
Gen
I
7
just couldn't get into. I don't know. I think it's something about the different islands as the region just felt off to me. I just felt a bit
Yeah,
isolated. You know what I mean? Like, I even though you could just like fly to any of the islands, it didn't feel like you could for some reason. I think it's when you look at the map and you've got to move your map to each island, it just feels a bit unnecessary. Whereas in all the other games, you have the region, you know, as your map and you can see it all. I got a bit lost even on the map. You know, like that's what I didn't like.
I don't know, man. I said this a while ago. I think the Pokemon and like the Dex is not that bad actually, other than Bruxish, as my disdain for the fish is very well known. But
Disdain for the fish.
other than that, I think that it's actually a fairly solid Dex. Because like Vikavolt, I think is one of the best bug types. I think the
Yeah,
legendaries
Vikavolt's
are
cool.
all really cool.
But being a bug type, it's
think-
just a bit crap.
I think the starters are pretty solid.
They're not bad.
The Ultra Beasts are really cool.
I haven't been that into the Ultra Beasts. Like, you know, I'm not against them.
I love
but
them
I'm just
because like they are literally just alien species. Like they are designed to look so out there and like not like other Pokemon.
they do look a bit weird.
I think
yeah.
they succeed. Like I think Buzzwole and Vikavolt are my top two bug types. Funnily enough.
I mean, Buzzwole was literally just jacked gym guy. You know, like that's all.
Not quite there yet, but maybe one day.
My motivation is to look like Buzzwole.
You're gonna be there a whole while.
I mean, if you can get me into a gym, I think you've succeeded.
Speaking of gyms, though, I think that might. Should I do it as my next one? I'm considering
More video ideas.
Yeah, I'm considering making gym videos. Not like going in and doing my morning workout. I mean, like if I was an ex-gym leader kind of thing.
Oh, that gym. Okay. Got you.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, like I said about my gym leader team, like I think I want to keep that as, you know, my team. You know what I mean? So like, if I was a gym leader or something, that's what I'd have, or an Elite Four member. You know, a bit like Larry has, you know, multiple teams, doesn't he?
yeah, because like the art that I have for like my thumbnail and everything. I mean, I didn't get it done as a thumbnail, or no, I say thumbnail, so I'm saying the wrong thing. Profile picture. I didn't have it done as that. I just had it done as I bought it with my first salary from work, and the idea was if I leave the microphone in Mark's capable hands, I will show you.
So how are we doing, chat? I know there isn't a chat, but how are we doing?
You're useless.
I know.
I actually went and got it signed by Sarah Natochenny at a convention. So, yeah, I have the official champion seal of approval.
Which is
And-
the voice of Ash for people that don't know.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I didn't know until recently, to be honest. So
I mean, it's understandable. It's just a voice on it. It doesn't really. I don't think voice actors get the recognition they deserve most of the time, but
I mean,
you
usually if you're a fan of the series, you also know your stuff.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I am, of course, a fan of Pokemon, but I haven't watched the series in God knows how long, so that's why it hasn't really stuck with me.
But yeah, the whole idea was for that art piece because like it is some of my favorites. It's hard to say whether it is absolutely my top 6, but it's definitely up there. And the idea was for her to have like my dream team / champion team more so, because obviously the average trainer isn't going to be rocking around with 4 legendaries, one of which being God.
No.
But it was sort of to commemorate
Okay,
my
like-
shiny Arceus hunt. So
Unless you're what was he called in Diamond and Pearl?
Tobias?
Was it Tobias? Was that his name?
Yeah, if
think
we
it
both
was.
thought the same name, then yeah.
Yeah. The Latios and the Darkrai, and I don't know if he had any others.
Yeah,
That's all I
so
remember.
that would probably be like one of my dream teams, but like I'm not going to be starting there, so I think it would be a very fun video series to go through, and my teams in regions, my teams as different type gym leaders, things like that. Because like the gym videos you can do a lot more with as well. Like it's not just building your team and like your battle with them. You have to talk about the design, talk about the gym design, the puzzles, things like that. Because I think like my favorite YouTuber, Lawkeeper Toby now, but back in the old days he used to do a very similar series. I don't think it did too well for him, but I think it's a fun idea, so I might have to jump on the wagon.
Yeah. Does sound cool.
Indeed it does. But I feel like we're sort of exhausting our batteries at this point. So, unfortunately, we haven't got a Raikou on the pod so far. But let's kick it on over into our Pokemon of the episode. So,
Are we there already?
yeah, I think so.
Oh, we're going
We've
now.
actually been going for
We're
quite
going
a
nearly an
while.
hour.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I wanted to at
We
least
just lost in conversation.
talk a lot more about the Pokemon Day reveals. Like we hadn't even really touched on champions or any of the other things. We just spoke briefly about ZA. I think we should do another episode at some point where we maybe nearer the time where we sort of talk about what we
Yeah, a bit
might
more of
expect
the-
or the story or things like that.
More of a topical thing as opposed to
Yeah.
sort of general chat.
We had a little bit of a brief chat about what we thought. So yeah,
Okay,
let's
I'm
go
at 52.25 for this so far.
let's
Thanks,
go
good
and
pick.
generate a Pokemon. Okay, Volcanion.
I was gonna say I'm not looking at your screen. What is it? Volcanion. Which one is that?
What do you mean? Which one is that?
Which gen is this?
Gen 6 is the mythical. It's the only
Ah.
fire water type.
I was gonna say that might be why I don't know it, because it's probably an event, right?
Yeah, well that's what mythical is.
Oh yeah, exactly. Fire water though.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I was gonna say, are there many of those kind of
No,
types around?
Like I say, it's
'Cause we've
literally
got-
the only type.
Yeah, because I know you've got like fire grass, for example, with like Scovillain.
Yeah, because I mean, it got its own movie, and it was kind of meh. And the design's kind of weird. It reminds me almost like a Bakugan design, you know?
Okay.
Like
I
they,
never actually got into Bakugan like, at all.
oh, bro, Bakugan was.
I was
so
familiar with what
good.
it was, but I never actually, played it or
Oh,
watched it. Or
I
anything
loved
like
it,
that.
man. I still have my collection back at my parents' house. Right, no, now I've said that, I can't unsee that this thing looks like a Bakugan.
So instead of Volcanion, it's Bakugan.
Yeah, exactly. It is a pretty. I mean, like I funnily enough, I just posted my top 10 Kalos Pokemon, and this didn't even get a mention.
Oh, there you go.
It,
It's secretly trying to plug the video.
yeah, shh. But it,
Well, or not so secretly, maybe.
I think it would be like maybe come in as like 14th or 15th in the region for me, somewhere around there.
But if it was like past 10, I wouldn't even think that far. I wouldn't think, 14,
Yeah, no,
15.
because I didn't.
It's like top 10 or
but,
nothing.
But guess what, Mark? It's a Pokemon of the episode. I have to talk about it.
Wait, I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm just pointing out that if it was over top 10, I wouldn't even bother
Oh
ranking
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I didn't. I'm just guesstimating because obviously I did my 10. I did a few honorable mentions, and then it would
A
probably
bit
be
above that.
close after
below
that.
that, rather.
So
Yeah, fair.
it's not terrible. I don't think it's the best mythical we've had, but it's not the worst either because I'm not a fan of Zarude or of. Actually, no. Do I prefer Zeraora? Zeraora is just a furry suit. So I don't know. It. I think I prefer Diancie. Definitely prefer Hooper.
Oh yeah, I mean that was in your top 10. So.
I think I prefer Volcanion to Magearna, who it actually shares a movie with. But no,
But
it's hard.
Do we
to...
prefer it over Fletchling?
Oh no.
Because we've got to put it in the list now, don't we?
Oh no, I do not prefer it over Fletchling, but I do have one last story. Quickly,
okay.
Volcanion.
Right.
You know, I told you about getting trolled by those videos. It was
Which
for
videos?
Volcanion. Okay, so when you play X and Y, everyone knows this place. The Lumiose power plant. Out
Is
in
that
the
the one that's-
Badlands.
Yeah, I remember getting lost there.
As a kid, I always figured, yeah, you must be able to get into it. I mean, obviously you go and fight Team Flare in a place in the power plant, but this bit here, like, I was like, no, there must be a way in there. That must be where you get Volcanion. I didn't know it was a mythical distribution because, again, at the time I was like 8 or 9. So I searched it up on YouTube, and yeah, the results were interesting. I have no clue whose video it was, but their tutorial was instructing me that in order to get into the power plant, you had to go into Pokemon.me and with your Pokemon and give them a rub and create enough steam to get the steam Pokemon to unlock the door. So
I repeat to be this.
So these videos had 10-year-old me doing bloody ASMR to my DS to try and find this mythical Pokemon.
Oh.
True story.
Did you fall for the Mew under the truck thing?
Mark, I was not born for the Mew under the truck.
To be fair, I mean, I don't think I was either.
But
Wait,
let's
when was
be
it?
real, I
The original
definitely
one.
would
It was-
have. Because I also
what year
remember...
was the original one? I
I
want to say
also-
95, but I'm not sure. Was it like 99
96.
or something? 96? Okay, I wasn't born yet. But, I mean, everyone heard about it though, didn't they? Everyone heard about the Mew under the truck. At
Everyone
least.
heard about it, and I fell victim to the Mew 3 and Mew 4 rumours, which technically we did get in X and Y.
In a way, I guess, yeah. They are third and fourth variants of it, in a way, but still the same Pokemon.
But yeah, bringing it back to Volcanion, I think we need to sort of put it in our rankings. So as of right now, it's
Well,
nice and easy because
It's only
we have
Fletchling.
Fletchling, and then I think Volcanion will just sit just underneath it for the time being. But yeah, it's quite
Subject to change.
yeah. Oh, definitely. But here's a mega design for you. That's quite interesting. Could we see it in ZA? Because I was watching a video earlier. It was quite interesting. If we just find the artist here, but yeah. So Poke Trainer VB. This is a pretty sick design actually. But yeah, I think it was mentioned that all the other Kalos Pokemon or legendaries had some kind of other form, because Hoopa transforms, Xerneas and Yveltal, a lot of people were expecting to get something like Dialga and Palkia did, and then Diancie's already got a Mega, so obviously Zygarde has like 5 forms, so Volcanion could be getting a Mega, so we'll see. Maybe Mega Volcanion would be higher on our list, but unfortunately, it just ain't that kind
So
of
if it gets
movie,
added
bruv.
to the
If it gets added to the generator, then maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I think any closing thoughts, Mark?
I think you said pretty much everything you need to. I mean, this Volcanion is more your knowledge than mine. I didn't even know about the Hooper rings until somewhat recently. So
Yeah, so,
my Gen 6 knowledge is pretty limited.
yeah, I
As is-
think
Anything like 6 onwards, it's quite limited. I've played the game, so I know enough. But things like mythicals and whatnot, which I'm clearly not going to have because they were event only, I'm not going to know much about. So
yeah, that's totally fair.
more,
but,
more you, I think, for that one.
Yeah, I had to kind of take the reins on this one. Me and my
Just a bit.
ASMR abilities. So
That's a great story, though. I love that.
yeah, I think after being suitably embarrassed, I think we'll leave it there for today's episode. So thank you for listening to a Slow Start podcast. I doubt anyone's made it here, but if you have, drop a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I think we'll see you next time.
All right, bye bye.